We have reached day 3 of the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championship. 10 teams began the quest to win a Canadian crown. We have a few things somewhat decided in the round robin, but many games on the slate today, including this one between Team Alberta, represented by the Calgary Rockies, taking on the Nova Scotia representative, made up mostly of the Dartmouth Dry. Their record is 1-2. Alberta's is 1-1. Peter Loubardias once again alongside Dan Esty to bring you 4 more games on this bright and sunny but cool Saturday morning. And as I just said off the top, lots left to decide before the round robin ends late this afternoon.
Absolutely. We do know one team that has a bye into the semifinals, and that is the host club, the Regina Trappers. Everything else, it's a lottery on what's going to happen here today, and we have some great games that are going to be taking place that's going to decide our other 5 playoff teams here as we kick off action here between Team Nova Scotia and Team Alberta.
Sean Hubley is the starting pitcher, number 99. He's pitched a third of an inning. It came in a game, a 7-6 loss to Team Manitoba. Dartmouth has a record of 1-2. This is an absolute must for them. Losing 7-1 in their opener to the host Regina Trappers. They fell 7-6 to Manitoba before downing Ontario 1, the Leaside Leafs, yesterday by a count of 8-2. And Hubley has walked the dangerous leadoff hitter, Alex Tello, to begin the game. Tello came into the day with a outstanding batting average. He's 4 for 6 with a couple of runs batted in.
Yeah, you always need your leadoff man to get on, and good job there by Tello taking a few pitches to see what they're going to get out of Hubley here and give everyone else on the bench a good look at all his stuff.
Hubley also threw in last year's Canadian Championships, pitched 4 2/3 innings. 3 of those innings, Dan, actually came against last year's Alberta representative, as Regina's own 36-year-old J.P. Wilner fouls that pitch from Hubley away.
Yeah, last year for the Alberta rep, it was the Sherwood Park A's that were in the Nationals at Tecumseh, and had a pretty good squad that year as they came within a couple of very tough games of getting a medal, finishing in 4th place, losing to the host Tecumseh Thunder 6-4.
Wilner is a member regularly of the Calgary Diamonds of the Sunburst Baseball League. He hit .358 this year and drives this one to center, where Chris Thibodeau will take care of it, and Tello trots back to first.
We'll get a look at this one here on replay. Pretty good charge there in that one from J.P. Wilner, but the center fielder Thibodeau camps under that one, and he'll make the catch for the first out here in the top of the first.
Brings to the plate the third baseman, Alex Bishop, 29 years of age. He's 3 for 8 here in Regina. He's doubled twice and driven in a couple. 2 for 4 yesterday with a double in their 10-4 loss to the Regina Trappers in a game where we mentioned it a few times yesterday. The final score did not do the game justice.
No, absolutely not. You know, that was a tight game all the way through, and at one point the Regina Trappers actually down in that game 4-2 before storming back with 8 unanswered and taking it by a 10-4 final.
Including 6 in the 6th. This will be another base hit for Bishop, and it finds a gap and will roll all the way to the wall. Tello is going to get the wave. The throw home high, and the head-first slide, and Team Alberta, the Calgary Rockies, strike first on the RBI double off the bat of Alex Bishop.
We had quite a bit to say about Alex Bishop yesterday, and you know, his last few weeks of his season out in the Sunburst League was pretty hot, and he's continued it here this week as he rips that one to the left center gap. And that's enough to get Alex Tello home from first in an early 1-0 lead here for Team Alberta.
Third double of the event, third run batted in, and hot, did you say, Dan Esty? Well, let's confirm how warm he was to end the Sunburst season. Talking about Alex Bishop, 4 home runs, 14 runs batted in his last 6 games.
Incredible. That propelled them into a tie with the Calgary Rockies, those Calgary Diamondbacks, and actually pushed them into a playoff, or into the playoffs on a tiebreaker.
And pushed the team who won last year's Sunburst League, which has allowed them to represent Alberta at these Canadians, the Rockies. 31-year-old Mitch McGeehan is the batter. He homered yesterday, hit a 3-run homer that propelled them into a 4-2 lead, only to fall 10-4. They'll have one more round-robin game this afternoon at 3 o'clock. So in this pool, Regina will finish first regardless of what they do in our next game here against the Leaside Leafs, who are 0-3. Manitoba in a great position to make the playoffs. They're 2-1. Then Alberta, 1-1. Dartmouth is 1-2.
Certainly a lot of movement left there, and I've been to enough of these tournaments now. You can say that the last day and moving day is we're getting into playoffs now. Teams are going to start kind of pushing a little bit harder here as they know the end is near and need to put a good push in here to try and get into the playoff rounds.
Not the nipples, not the nipples.
So McGeehan will step back in as catcher Corson O'Rourke looks into the dugout for the sign.
Corson, one of 5 pickups for this Dartmouth Dry team, making his way here from the Sydney Sooners.
Into the hole, a tester, and it eats up Chris Farrow.
Yeah, tough play here. We'll get a look on the replay, but that one ripped into the hole. Farrow makes his way over, tries to make the backhand play there, a couple of bobbles, and both runners going to make their way safely onto base here, and we have runners on the corners now, 1 out for the catcher, Ramon Valdez, who makes his way to the plate.
So simply put, an Alberta win would allow us to know who the 3 playoff teams are in this pool.
That's right, Peter. 1 and 3 probably not going to be able to push a team in. So at that point, it will just be playing for seeding at that point.
Not in this pool, because 3 teams would have 2 wins.
Correct.
And Leaside could only win 1 game, and Dartmouth would be done with only 1 win, which would leave the Trappers, Manitoba, and Alberta. And I believe it is Manitoba and Alberta in the final game of pool play later today.
I do believe you're correct with that. I think they're playing over at Optimus. They are at 3 p.m., so that will be a big game dependent on the outcome of this one.
Well, the Dartmouth Dry certainly hoping it will really matter for them, although even with the win, it will involve some cheering for a certain group and maybe a little tiebreaker work in terms of where they go after head-to-head.
Yeah, big thing at this point is just keep the number of runs you have allowed down, and that's going to help you with the math.
Catcher Ramon Valdez, and again takes a bite out of the shortstop. That was very hard hit by the 31-year-old catcher, who was a product of a great baseball academy in Okotoks. That's where he made his way up through the ranks. He played for the Okotoks Dogs for a couple of years in the Western Canadian Baseball League as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a tough start here for the Dry as they find themselves down 2-0 already, but you know what? That's why we play 7 innings in a game. Lots of time left in this one, and it's going to be up to Dartmouth right-hander Sean Hubley to kind of bear down here and try and get some outs.
Well, 2 runs on the board and only 1 out. We'll wait to see officially if the Valdez blow would be called a hit. That was a really, really tough play. And the batter is first baseman, 25-year-old Tyler McWillie. And the Hubley breaking ball misses in. Lots of great baseball to come your way. We'll crown a champion tomorrow night. One team already knows its fate heading towards the playoffs. That's the host Regina Trappers. Regardless of what happens in their game at noon versus Leaside, they've clinched top spot and will avoid a quarterfinal game. Those are slated for this evening. Could be a 3-game day for a team or two here.
Yeah, and those, you know what, especially, any day that's a tough day, but especially at the national level, that's a very long day at the ballpark. But looks like officially right now the hit off the bat of Mitch McGeehan was ruled an error, and then Ramon Valdez's hit ruled a single. So
McWillie started the walk towards first. Home plate umpire, and again, great thank you to all the home plate umpires since day one. They've all been mic'd up. Certainly have no obligation to do it, but it sure has provided some great streaming.
Oh, absolutely. Great insight into the game. You get to hear kind of a different aspect of it. And
McWillie high in the air.
Infield fly, batters out.
Now, if that ball is dropped, the runners are able to advance at their own potential peril, but the catch was made by Jake McKinnon. And you heard the infield fly call.
Good pitch there from Hubley. Gets a fastball in on the hands of McWillie, and he pops out to second base, and 2 outs here now.
Center fielder Mike Goldade, the 28-year-old, 3 for 6. Bounces this, foul. Mike has 2 triples, both of them in their opening game win over the Leaside Leafs. He did have a hit in yesterday's setback at the hands of the Regina Trappers. Boy, that was some game last night.
Great game.
Trappers win at 6-4 in 8 innings. 2-run homer by Brody Vogel.
His second of the day. Had a great day at the dish yesterday, Brody did.
And Cody Rock, who went a complete game 7 innings against the team in white in this game on Thursday evening, gave up a couple hits. Bases were loaded, nobody out for Manitoba in the bottom of the 8th, and he said, "That's okay. I'll take care of that." Goldade rips one that's headed towards a gap. It'll score a run. Mike Goldade has his second run batted in, and it's a big start for 1-1 Team Alberta.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there by Mike Goldade. Gets the barrel through the zone, rips that into right center field. 1 run comes across. Ramon Valdez makes his way to third. We have runners on the corners now. 2 outs in a very early 3-0 lead here for Team Alberta.
Your season is on the line if you're Dartmouth. How long can you wait?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's not long. That's for sure. I mean, it's all hands on deck for head coach Chris Head today. So certainly, I'm sure here if this continues, you're going to see someone going down to the pen here soon.
Now, it is early, and even in the game that we just referred to, Regina trailed in that game against Manitoba 4-0. We saw Saskatchewan win a game yesterday where they trailed New Brunswick 5-0 and won 9-5. Farrow on the run makes a fine play to end the inning.
Nice play there by Farrow. Throw on the run. That one was, I think, a little bit closer than everyone was expecting. We'll have a look here on the replay here before we head to break. But another tough play over to Farrow's left. Throws across his body, and yep, absolutely out by half a step at first base.
Excellent play. Excellent start. If you're Team Alberta, the Calgary Rockies have a 3-0 lead. They'll go to work defensively when we return on day 3 of the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championship.
What's that, Charlie? Get a break?
Always nice to step onto the mound with a 3-0 lead. That will be the case for the Calgary Rockies. Team Alberta with some pickups from some other teams in the Sunburst League. 34-year-old from Lloydminster is Steven Latos. 1-1 on the season. 21 innings, 19 runs, given up 20 hits, struck out 33, and walked 15. The right-hander played a couple of years back in 2012, 2013 with the then Saskatoon Yellow Jackets of the Western Major Baseball League. Now it's the Saskatoon Berries, and they've been a huge success.
Oh, big time. Certainly one of the more popular teams in the WCBL now, for sure.
They've sold a lot of merchandise, Dan.
Yeah. Yes, they have.
Have you ever consumed a Saskatoon berry pie by any chance?
I have not had the opportunity to. Not yet, no.
Well, I highly recommend it if you ever get an opportunity. I don't know, maybe you don't like pie.
Oh, no, that's not the issue. Although I'll tell you, I did try Houston's Pizza last night.
And?
That was a big winner.
Not surprised. Leighton Cavalier. That's a bit of a winner. He's had a very good Canadians.
Absolutely. You know, after giving up 3 in the top of the first, you know, you want to get right back on the sticks here, and great job by Leighton as he laces that ball to right field. Hands back, gets the barrel through, and leadoff man aboard here for center fielder Chris Thibodeau.
The 24-year-old Cavalier from Hantsport is now 6 for 10. Chris Thibodeau, as Dan mentioned, takes a strike from Latos. Chris is 30 from Dartmouth. Has just the one hit. It came in their opening game against the Regina Trappers. 1 for 11. He was a late-round draft pick back in 2013 of the San Diego Padres. And I find it fascinating in the sense that, according to my research, he's a 6-time All-Star shortstop in the Nova Scotia Senior League, and he's in center field in this tournament.
Yeah, it's you know what, I talked to Coach Chris Head about this before, and having the kids that they come with them as pickups. You know, Chris Farrow is a phenomenal shortstop. And, you know, Chris usually plays there. Chris Thibodeau does during the year for Dartmouth. But he's such a versatile player that can play so many different positions for them that, you know, they're able to kind of bump Chris to the outfield and put Chris Farrow at shortstop when he comes with the team.
He fouls this Latos pitch away. Leighton Cavalier at first with a lead-off single. And it is win or end the tournament time for the Nova Scotia representative, the Dartmouth Dry. Cavalier on the run. It eludes catcher Ramon Valdez. But it really didn't matter. Ball 4. The only thing that good hustle might have prevented is an extra base.
For sure. And if you're the Dartmouth Dry, you know, like I said, a little bit of a rough top of the first inning, but as we see, Cavalier is going to need a little bit of sewing work on his pants there when he gets home. This is where we get back into games, and we talked about yesterday 2 big leads by 2 teams that they got out early, and those games ended up being very close, and in most cases the team down ended up winning. But
Oh, we've got trouble on the bases. Thibodeau had his head down, and they're going to be safe anyway.
Pretty lucky there for the Dartmouth Dry. A little bit of a base running error. That's one of those plays. You see everything in front of you as Ramon Valdez goes over to his right, picks up the ball, and Leighton Cavalier trying to stop Thibodeau, but he picks that up too late. And at that point there, Cavalier has nowhere to go. So for the catcher, you just got to throw that ball to third and then force him to make a decision on what he wants to do there. And I think Valdez just hung on to the ball too long there.
That just, like you said, there's no better way to describe it than how you just did. That ball really needs immediately to get to third base.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then you force Dartmouth to make a decision on who they want to keep on the base paths.
Instead, they don't get anyone. Anthony McKinley, and he grounds out to Alex Bishop, who's having himself a good beginning. He drove in a run with his 3rd double of the tournament in the top of the 1st.
Pretty hot shot there on one hop to Alex Bishop, and takes a quick look at Cuvelier there at 3rd, and then throws across the diamond, and 1 out here now with runners on 2nd and 3rd.
Batter is first baseman, 30-year-old Jalen Trider, 3 for 10 here in Regina. All 3 of those hits came against Team Manitoba in a hard-fought 7-6 loss. And if they cannot come up with a win in this game, that might be the one, Dan, that they'd reflect on when the tournament comes to an end.
Yeah, that was a tough game for the Dartmouth crew. They played hard, but ended up just ending up on the short end out of a one-run game there. Got to get my words working here in the morning.
Well, a bit of an earlier start. We have been on the air at 10 o'clock. Regina time. First couple of days, it's 9 a.m. today. 9:30 tomorrow for the semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one of the best pitches that Steven Latos has delivered early in this game.
I will say I had a good chuckle, though. I did come in with the Dartmouth boys on the bus today from the hotel, and they had me laughing pretty good coming in.
Well, a lot more than the donkey who's been driving you back to the hotel the last couple of nights.
He's a pretty cool guy, too.
Although, that donkey has made you laugh a few times, both on and off the air.
It's been a fantastic weekend with that donkey.
It's been a lot of fun. Had a great couple of days, and hopefully the best is yet to come.
Absolutely.
Jalen Trider.
No catch. Out on the
Swing and a miss. And there are 2 away after a tough start. Latos induces a ground out and then delivers his first strikeout.
We saw a similar pitching style last night with Team Manitoba hurler Scott Beaver, where early he picks up on tendencies of batters, and then I would say probably about 70% of his pitches last night were changeups once he figured out what was working for him. And it seems like Steven Latos is into the same boat here. A couple of really good sliders there to get a couple of outs.
It just never ceases to amaze me in this sport at all levels. Early is generally when you have to get to someone.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And that's the most important time. And I mean, obviously, you saw Calgary come out with a really, really good first inning there, and they get up 3 early, and now you put the pressure on the other team, and they had, it forces them to perform, and especially a team that's kind of on the bubble here with a 1-2 record and needs a win to have a shot.
Jack Fader, the 26-year-old right fielder from Dartmouth, would love to get his team on the board and back in the game. He has runners at 3rd and 2nd. A ball and 2 strikes to Fader, who's had a good tournament. He's 4 for 10. just apiece.
You know, it's so important right now that, you know, just for a little bit of confidence in themselves here, if Vader can come up with a big hit here, even if it gets just one run across, you know, it's going to put that in the back of the head of Latos that, you know, we're not going away. We're going to keep chipping away, and certainly puts the Dartmouth crew in a better spot as well.
Latos. Big pump. Strikes out the last two. With runners at second and third. And after one in this very crucial round robin affair, it's Team Alberta, the Calgary Rockies 3, Nova Scotia, the Dartmouth Dry, no score. A 3-0 lead for Team Alberta, primarily made up of Calgary Rockies, who earned their way here by winning the 2024 Sunburst League title. Hubley looking for better results, and there is some activity now for Dartmouth, as we alluded to, Dan. You're in a must-win situation, your season on the line. There's not a lot of time to wait. I know that you always have a pitching plan going in, but in these situations, you know what you can do with the plan sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's once you get to these points, is winner go home games. It's, you know, like I said, everyone is eligible to come in and be able to pitch there, and it's Hubley able to get the first batter there looking for the first out, but definitely need to make sure that, you know, at this point now he's probably on a pretty short leash.
Well, that's a good beginning for number 99 as he sits down Mitch Murphy, the right fielder. And here's Alex Tello, the leadoff batter, who walked and scored one of the 3 Alberta runs in the first. 4 for 6 in the tournament is the 26-year-old second baseman.
Oh. Yeah.
And we will keep you abreast. Looks like a left-hander up and throwing a little bit. Tello trying to drive that the other way.
That's lefty Jacob Burgess that's been down throwing in the pen right here for Team Nova Scotia.
2-1.
Jacob has made 1 appearance here in Regina.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, that got him.
Just grazed. Tello, who's on for a second time, this time hit by the pitch.
Yeah, a little bit of bad luck there. That fastball kind of tails in just a little bit, and Tello going to make his way down there. It does seem to just clip the letters there on his jersey.
Right.
That's the most formidable way to be hit. I'm not glances off your uniform.
Woo.
Yeah, that's. I guess if you're going to wear one, that's the way to wear it.
Don't even think it made any contact with the actual body of Tello, who's obviously a threat to run. J.P. Wilner, the 36-year-old. He hit a ball solidly, but made an out to Chris Thibodeau in center in the first. JP's now 1 for 9.
Oh,
As the what looked like a potential 12-6 curveball
2-1.
went 12-8. Didn't quite find the final 2 on the dial.
Yeah, this is going to be a big inning as
There goes
runner
Tello,
Teller
and
takes
there's a second consecutive batter that's plunked. That one did make contact with the body. As Wilner's going to make his way to first.
right off the upper left shoulder there of JP Wellner, so he's going to make his way down to first, and looked like Burgess was going to make his way back into the dugout, but he's back to getting loose here in the pen again, and Team Alberta back on the base paths here again, first and second with 1 out.
And the dangerous hitting 29-year-old Alex Bishop, who has doubled and driven in a run and had a quality hack at the Hubley pitch.
4 baseballs, please.
4 for 9 is Alex. 3 doubles, 3 runs batted in. An impressive season for the Calgary Diamondbacks, where he hit .424 during the Sunburst season. 8 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Played collegiately at the University of Texas at Tyler.
So many universities that I haven't heard of.
Oh, it's a lot of fun in the prep world. You learn a lot about a lot of places you'd never even think about. There's the block by O'Rourke. Bishop also played in the Western Canadian Baseball League as a Lethbridge Bull back in 2017.
Wait.
Choked up just a tad. Whatever he's doing, it's working. And he puts a drive into this one, too. And Thibodeau can't come up with it.
Ooh,
Both guys are going to get the wave. The throw home, they might get 2.
It's out.
Wow.
They did get 2.
What a play by Chris Thibodeau. And then the shortstop, Farrell. We're going to get a look at this. Wow.
Well,
So Bishop gets an absolute monster piece of that, short hopping the wall out in center.
Yeah, you just got him.
Great job there by Thibodeau to get the ball back in, and I don't know if we're going to get a look at the relay. Here it comes here. Great relay throw by Chris Farrell, and we get 1 tag and 2 tags.
Yeah.
And that is your unconventional 8-6-2 double play.
I hope somebody sends out that video. You don't see that every day. What an ending to the top of the second. It remains 3-0 Team Alberta.
I was like, waiting to see this happen.
And it's the only adjective I can come up with, an incredible ending to the top of the second inning. A ball hit by Alex Bishop over the head of center fielder Chris Thibodeau. There were 2 runners on base. He made a great throw to the shortstop. Chris Farrow, who delivered an even better throw to home, and catcher Corson O'Rourke tagged out both of the runners, as you just had another little peek at it. We might just show that now for the next 2 hours. Like, what else do you really need to see?
Something tells me that might get sent to TSN at some point, but man, oh man, I have never seen anything like that in my life.
You are not alone. Wow.
Now, as we get back to the game, we talk about momentum.
Oh, is there a game going on?
Yeah, we still got a few innings left. But now we talk about momentum. What can Dartmouth do with that momentum now to try and get themselves back into this game? And that's going to be key here for Alberta hurler Steven Latos as he tries to kind of quell that play now and try and get his team back on the sticks here.
Should mention the guy at the plate is the guy who delivered the most important of the two throws, and now Chris Farrow, the shortstop, has drawn a walk. That's why you practice those cutoff plays.
Absolutely, and that's why it's so important there. If Thibodeau even just overthrows him a little bit, that ball's going to be bouncing around. That's 2 runs. It's a 5-0 lead for Alberta, and then you're really in trouble. So absolutely, hitting your cutoffs, so important.
Dartmouth did have 2 runners on base in the bottom of the first, but Latos really bared down and struck out the last 2, induced a ground ball to Alex Bishop, who has 2 doubles in the game. And the batter is second baseman Jake McKinnon, which is quite a popular last name in that part of the world.
Yes, there's a few McKinnons out that way.
There's one who's not a bad hockey player.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
If you like that sort of thing. Jake McKinnon, a tester, and out of the glove of Mike Goldade in center.
Just an excellent effort here by Goldade. This one off the end of the bat of Jake McKinnon. Goldade makes his way in, a little bit of a slide, and see, just jars loose there as his arm starts to hit the ground. And good base running there by Farrow as he did get out there halfway and kind of held his ground. And he's got enough speed he would have been able to get back to first in time, but stays there, gets to second. Now we have first and second, nobody out again here for the dry.
Can they take advantage of this opportunity? They were unable to in the exact same scenario in inning number 1. It's Corson O'Rourke, the catcher, who will never forget the end of the last inning either. He tagged 2 guys out at home plate in about a second apart of one another.
Trying to think of the movie, and I think we were talking about it between innings, but I'm pretty sure it was Bull Durham when the 2 guys slide in and you get out and out. It almost seemed like a play from a movie. That was crazy. Wow.
O'Rourke had a couple of hits yesterday in the win over the Leaside Leafs. And that's the only win so far that the Nova Scotia team has recorded here. But thanks to that incredible end play of the top of the inning, they're still very much in this. And they need to win it. As Latos misses with a fastball high.
Very crucial moment here. Early in the game, but very crucial here. Dartmouth has to get a run this inning. Has to get a run here. Can't leave runners on base again.
Nice block by Valdez behind home plate.
I'm going to put your coach's hat on here, Peter. Nobody out, first and second here. Do you want to get the runners on the move?
No.
No?
No, I do not. You?
2 very quick men on base here. Thought would go through, but that's why we're up here again, right?
A walk of O'Rourke. And the bases now are jammed. Well, if you just strolled into the park, half asleep on a Saturday, take a seat. Now I need 2 seat belts. Buckle up, folks. This is great.
Well, if you were asleep, you're not anymore, that's
No,
for sure.
Not one bit. Noah Boutillier, the third baseman, comes up with the bases loaded. 23 years of age, 3 for 9 here in Regina is Boutillier. He has a hit in all 3 games. And he looks at a strike.
Key point in the game here now is the number 9 hitter Boutillier looking to turn the order over here as leadoff man Leighton Cuvillier waits on deck.
Gets away from Lados, who takes a look at the pitching path. He was uncomfortable when he tried to plant and come to home.
And the field crews have been excellent here, but definitely after a few games here this weekend, the mound's going to get chewed up a bit.
And can even provide a ride back to your car when you think you've misplaced your wallet. Not mentioning who that might have been.
Yeah, they do everything here.
They do, and well.
And absolutely, very well.
Boutillier. Full count.
That's a good take there. I don't mind that. You know what? Lots of pressure on the pitcher there. No room to put you on. Take one there and then trust yourself here with a 3-2 count. Chile is a pretty capable hitter.
To second and Tello. He attempted a tag, just missed, did get it out, and Boutillier able to drive in Nova Scotia's first run.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there, and this is what the Dry needed there. You know, avoid that strikeout, get a ball in play, and good job by the runner there going to second. Carson O'Rourke to avoid the tag, and now we have second and third with one out. We get the out there, and now we get back to the top of the order.
And we have some activity up for Team Alberta. Jordan Moffat, who we saw yesterday in the loss to the Regina Trappers. I keep wanting to say the Edmonton Trappers, who were a longtime AAA team in the Pacific Coast League. Quite fond of the Regina Trappers. Cuvillier, who has a hit on a couple of bounces.
That runner at third needs to be on the move there. That's a high chopper. Shortstop stays back. Got to put the contact play on there. And you see head coach Chris Head kind of patting his chest saying, my bad. But shortstop deep enough there on that play for sure that runner on third should have been on the move.
Carmichael makes the play for the second out. And if you're Team Alberta, I think you'd be quite satisfied if you were to make your way out of this inning, giving up only one. And
thought we were going to get our first play of the week there, Peter.
No, we had our play of a lifetime already. Chris Thibodeau was very much involved in that marvelous double tag at home plate. He's the center fielder who made the great throw into shortstop Chris Farrow before Carson O'Rourke, the catcher. I'm going to tag you, and you're right behind, and I'm going to tag you.
There you go.
Inning over. I can't wait to see it again.
Poor guy. They're making him do all the work.
high in the air off the bat of Thibodeau. Glasses on, and Mitch Murphy makes the catch. So credit Steven Lados as he works his way out. Does give up the 1 run, but it could have been plenty more. It's 3-1 Alberta over Nova Scotia after 2.
Hey guys, Donnie with Extreme Hockey and Umbrella Marketing Solutions. Really excited to throw this video that we have partnered with the National Baseball Championships that are hosted in Regina. As you know, we love getting behind our community and supporting these kind of events. This is just an absolute honor to be a part of this championship.
Stop in at 1425 McIntyre Street in Regina. We will have sales on all weekend. I will also be kicking around at the event for a few days, so if you have any questions about team, corporate gear, pull me aside and let's have a chat.
Set to begin the third in what is a must-win for the 1-2 Nova Scotia squad, the Dartmouth Dry, with help from a number of Sydney Sooners of the Nova Scotia Senior Men's League. Mitch McGeehan to lead things off for 1-1 Team Alberta. The Calgary Rockies.
As we see some of our fans sitting in their Rough Rider green, we do have an update from Optimist Park.
Mitch McGeehan, one bounces one to the left field wall. He made a big turn, but Leighton Cavalier with a strong throw keeps him. That's just a long single, as it turns out.
Throw it in.
Yeah, good piece there by McGeehan. Goes off the base of the wall. And good job there by the left fielder, Leighton Cavalier, as he's able to get that one in a real hurry. And holds Mitch McGeehan to a single. We do have an update from Optimist Park. There is another game happening over there this morning. Team British Columbia and Team Saskatchewan taking part in that one. Currently 2-2 right now as they're playing in the top of the third inning.
Ramon Valdez has a hit. 4-6. to 3. As Valdez grounds into a well-executed double play. McKinnon to Farrow to Trider.
Yeah, and that's, you know what? It's not going to show up in the scorebook, but credit Leighton Cavalier on that play as well, getting that ball back in quickly, keeping him at first base. And that sets up that ground ball there for that 4-6-3 double play, and you have 2 outs now.
Fabulous point. In crucial games in this sport, every 90 feet matters.
Absolutely. Should be lots of high fives for him coming into the bench for sure.
Tyler McWillie thought about pulling the trigger on the breaking ball from pitcher Sean Hubley, who gave up the 3 runs. Looked like he was about to give up 2 more until the play of the year. McWillie, and now Farrow makes a fabulous diving play to end the inning.
Are you having any issues?
Just wow.
Hey, Chris, are you having a day defensively?
Okay, yeah, 'cause
My goodness. It remains 3-1.
We'll do top of 4, okay?
Another terrific play from the Dartmouth Dry representing Nova Scotia to end the inning. Not quite like the one to end the second, but the Chris Farrow diving, rolling play to rob Tyler McWillie of a hit was certainly highlight worthy too.
Some pretty good defensive gems here throughout the course of this week. Saw that play this game. We had the play back in the second inning, and we get another look at it here. Full extension, and wow, what a play. Sean Hubley shows his appreciation for Chris Farrow there. We talk about those two plays this game. We had that great diving play by Max Grant yesterday. That was just some phenomenal defense here.
Anthony McKinley, the designated hitter. Sharp ground ball to make an out. His first time up today. One of Nova Scotia's top pitchers on top of his hitting prowess.
3-2.
This is the point now in the game. Again, we talk about momentum. Dartmouth needs to see if they can take that momentum.
Ball 4. Just inside.
McKinley going to take the walk there, and it's important now that they try and build. And again, you don't have to get it all back at once. Last inning they chip away, they get one, they leave a couple of runners in scoring position. You just have to keep chipping away here at this lead and see if you can get into the Alberta bullpen.
Already left 4 runners down in the game in scoring position. Has Nova Scotia, and it's the third consecutive inning that they've had the leadoff batter on base. Jalen Trider flies out to Mitch Murphy and right for out number 1.
And it's certainly something for sure that you just don't want to make it a habit. It's going to happen in games for sure. You have a pitcher out there that's trying to, obviously get you out as well, but, certainly a recipe for disaster is getting those runners into scoring position and not being able to push them across the plate.
Jack Fader, the batter, he's the right fielder for Nova Scotia. Jack struck out to end a threat in the bottom of the first. 4 for 11 here in Regina with a double and 3 runs batted in. Hit .231 did Fader at last year's Canadian Senior Men's Championship. That one was staged in Tecumseh, Ontario. Next year they'll be in Miramichi in New Brunswick. High fly ball, shielding his eyes, and making the catch is Mike Goldade.
Yeah, yesterday sun wasn't too much of an issue as we were under a lot of cloud cover there until about later in the day, but tough play there as that one hit way up in the air by Jack Fader, but good catch there by Mike Goldade as he's able to camp under that for the second out of the inning.
Left for the park, I believe it was +8 or 9, supposed to get up to about 21. Chris Farrow been all over the game defensively. And he's been on base twice now. That's his first hit of the morning.
And jumping all over that first pitch, keeps his hands back, right back up the box and into center field for a 2-out single.
Chris's third hit of the competition. He's 3 for 11. The 33-year-old from Sydney and a member of the Sydney Sooners. One of the league's batting leaders, in fact, hitting .368 this year back home. And has scored 28 runs in the Nova Scotia Senior League.
Good on-base guy. Gets on base, uses his speed well. Certainly knows how to move around the base paths.
2 more runners on. Another runner for Nova Scotia in scoring position. Jake McKinnon, the batter. This will make its way out of play. And that one, I think, got the IKS truck. Good morning, everyone. They've done a great job, haven't they?
Absolutely.
Clark Monroe and company.
Don't worry, Clark. We'll send them the bill.
Apparently, IKS has dent insurance. I'm not sure Paul would think so. Well, Dartmouth, Team Nova Scotia, failing to put a dent into Stephen Latos and Team Alberta. Latos, give him credit. He's had a lot to deal with in all 3 innings, but he seems to have an answer when he needs it the most.
I gotta fill up now. I gotta fill up. Do I-
The grounds crew has done a great job here. This is actually one, and maybe the only time, Dan, since the tournament started here on Thursday morning, that we've required some in-game work.
Absolutely. And I mean, like we said, after we've played, 8, this is game number 9 here at Curry Park now. And yeah, for sure. There's sometimes when this happens, and you see he has the Tampa out there now. So obviously just a little bit of a hole there in the mound that they're going to fix up. Then easiest to do this now. Now that both pitchers have had 3 innings on the mound and kind of keep it an even ground there for sure.
I don't think there's any way to properly help people understand the kind of punishment that area of the field takes in a tournament like this with senior men.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you see him out there tamping right now. So what the tamp does basically is it just takes and forces the dirt into the hole, but it will also kind of solidify it a little bit. They'll put a bit of water on it at the end to kind of get it to mold, and then it's still going to get torn up a bit. It's still going to get moved around for sure, but it kind of gives a little more of a safer footing for the pitcher and a landing spot so that those cleats don't slip when they hit the landing area.
Mound repair has never received a better description or more airtime.
Well, after playing for Arundel for 17 years and helping my coach with a lot of this stuff, I've been giving quite a bit of wisdom on his behalf.
I have so much time and respect for grounds crews all over.
Mm-hmm. Certainly the unsung heroes that don't get talked about too often, but we'll take that time.
As they continue to make the mound playable, this would also be a great time to revisit potentially a couple of great defensive plays.
We've had some of those this game?
There's been one beyond belief, and then a couple others that were quite outstanding, yes. It is 3-1, Team Alberta.
Well, we do have the pause. We do have another game happening over at Optimist Park right now as part of the Saturday festivities here at the Canadian Men's Baseball Championships. And a local club, Team Saskatchewan, has broken things open there. They continue to hit in the bottom of the third inning with a pitching change coming for Team British Columbia, and they lead that game 6-2 right now as we go back and look at these defensive web gems that we've had so far. And this one, to me, still, wow. For me, that's still makes me shake my head. That's an incredible, incredible play.
We're back to work in a 3-1 lead in the top of the fourth as Mike Goldade fouls the Sean Hubley pitch off. Must win for Nova Scotia to give them any hope of earning one of the 3 playoff spots in Pool B. You mentioned the Saskatchewan score. If they were to go on and win that game, they would move to 3-1 with an opportunity to finish first in Pool A.
Absolutely. And I mean, that would be a big turn of events. And like we said, in that pool, there's so many scenarios that can happen today with 2 teams coming into action today, Saskatchewan as well as Team New Brunswick, both sitting with 2-1 records. Team British Columbia are going to have a busy day today as they got 2 pool games they have to play with the possibility of a playoff game coming later in the evening if they're able to get in there. Team Quebec sitting with a 1-2 record, as well as Team Ontario number 2 also, and they match up at 12 o'clock at Optimus. So lots of movement that can take place in Pool A for sure.
And we'll try to keep you the best we can abreast of not only the scores, but the scenarios that go along with them. So a little simpler in this pool. Pool B. The Regina Trappers are already home and cooled with a record of 3-0. They've clinched top spot regardless of what will happen in their next game, which is here next at noon against the Owens 3 Leaside Leafs. Ontario 1. Hubley, a breaking ball that is ripped foul by Goldade.
Good play down there in the Calgary bullpen. Not sure who that was there in the black hoodie, but good pickup and gets the ball back in.
Goldade has a hit and a run batted in. He drove in the 3rd run in a 3-run first. Somehow, that's the only inning they've scored in. Farrow again. Not in time. Goldade runs too well.
That's a tough play. That hops kind of slowed things up a little bit, and Goldade, as you said, gets down the line pretty well, but Farrow tries to surround that one, has to take a little bit of a hop to get up there, and unfortunately just a step late at first, and that's an infield single for Mike Goldade.
So the leadoff runner at first base, Goldade now 2 for 2 in the contest. And the batter is Luke Carmichael. The shortstop, who looks at a breaking ball out of the zone. Luke's 37, originally from Charlottetown. He grounded out to fellow shortstop Chris Farrow. This is a long run, but well done by Jack Fader in right field.
Yeah, good play there by Fader. That's a tough play. It looked like that was going to land in no man's land, but Fader with the long run out there. You see the second baseman as well going out to give it a look with Jake McKinnon, but Fader able to camp under that one, make the grab, and we have one out here in the top of the 4th.
Mitch Murphy about to step into the batter's box, the 41-year-old who hit .256 in the Sunburst League this year for the Calgary Rockies. He struck out versus Hubley in the 2nd inning. Lots of runners left on in this game.
I believe we have a pinch runner that just came in at first. Yeah, I think that's Travis Gaudette. That's at first base. Running for Mike Goldade.
Wonder Or if Goldade was shaken up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That seems we had one of these plays yesterday too that happened, and player left the game. We weren't really sure why, and then found out afterwards that it was a pulled hamstring.
That other player you're referring to was Tom Hooker of Team Saskatchewan, the 33-year-old from Humboldt, who unfortunately I think we've seen the last of in the event.
Well, you say that, and I'm looking at my game changer right now, and guess who's at bat? Tom Hooker. So I don't know if he magically healed overnight, but he's currently in the lineup right now for Team Saskatchewan.
Well, that's a great thing for Saskatchewan. He's one of their best players.
Mm-hmm.
We had heard that he had suffered a bit of a hamstring injury. That's why he left that game. And what a game that was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trailing New Brunswick in the third inning, 5-0, Team Saskatchewan, only to register 9 consecutive runs, including 4 in the bottom of the 6th to win it.
Seem to have taken that momentum and continue to build on it now as they currently have a 7-2 lead over Team British Columbia.
Tello, tough play for Boutillier. To third goes Gaudette. And there's runners at the corners.
Time.
Tough play there as Tello puts a pretty good charge into that one down to third base. Third baseman unable to squeeze it there as it just squirts under the glove of Noah Boutillier. He tries to make the throw to first, not in time. Throw back across the diamond, but sliding in safely there is the pinch runner, Travis Gaudette.
So Alex Tello, the leadoff batter's on base again.
Curious to see how they're going to score that one.
We'll try to find that out in between the inning.
Yep, we got a single, so that's what I figured they would. That was a pretty hard hit baseball.
Tello on the fly. No throw. Alex with a stolen base, and he's an impressive 5 for 7 in the tournament. Batting, walked today and scored, hit by a pitch, scored, singled. And he'd like to score again. J.P. Wilner, an opportunity to cash in a couple more. Sean Hubley and Nova Scotia have other ideas.
1-2.
Don't want to be over dramatic, but this is another scenario that feels like almost a must out for 1-2 Nova Scotia. And Jake McKinnon will record the very important out.
Yeah, that's a big out right there. Keep this game at 3-1. Now you have to go in and rally the troops, try and get yourself back on the sticks here.
On day 3 of the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championship in Regina.
Should be a little bit better for you now.
3-1 advantage as Nova Scotia bats in a must-win situation for a team with a 1-2 record. This is their final game of the round robin. That's not the case for their opponent. The Calgary Rockies representing Alberta. They'll play one more today at 3 o'clock against Manitoba to wrap up the round robin. Is O'Rourke, the catcher, fouls it down the line. There's a fine play going in behind second. As this time it's Luke Carmichael's turn to make a good defensive effort. So Corson O'Rourke is out, 6-3. And there's one away in the bottom of the fourth. And the batter is third baseman Noah Boutillier. Stephen Laddish has certainly been able to work his way out of some sticky situations.
No worries, no worries. It's all good.
He'd love nothing more, Dan, than a clean 1-2-3 inning. He's yet to have one.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, at some point you want to be able to settle in for sure. And I feel like Steven's got a lot better control of his pitches now. He seems to be settling in a little bit more, which is good moving forward for them. It might be a few problems for the Dartmouth drive.
Also says a lot today about Laddish's ability to bear down when it has mattered the most, which has been his trademark so far in this game.
Absolutely. Through
the first 3 innings of work. Looks in, gets the sign from catcher Ramon Valdez.
Yes, he
and
did.
A good breaking ball. And Boutillier's going to get a good break.
Time.
The movement on that slider so good late that it eludes the catcher Valdez.
Yeah, it's a tough play. He did swing there, absolutely, and that hits the front edge of the plate and goes right up over the shoulder of catcher Ramon Valdez. So Laddish credited with the strikeout there, but I guess we have to call that an error. Allows the batter Boutillier to reach first.
Leighton Cavalier, the left fielder for Nova Scotia. Looks at a fastball high. First of 4 that will bring you again today here on IKS. Glad to have you with us, no matter where you might be looking in from. And there's been lots to feast your peepers on in this game.
I was going to say, game 1 already, and already a whole bunch of exciting plays.
That, I believe, was an attempted curveball. There's Laddish, a little wipe of the dirt on the newly manicured mound that received some work prior to the start of the inning. Back up the middle. Carmichael can't get to that. Boutillier smartly checks up at second. And here's Nova Scotia again.
Yeah, it's, you know what, great piece of hitting there by the leadoff man, Leighton Cavalier, as he breaks that one up the middle. Good hard turn there by Boutillier at second, but he's going to stay there. And now the question becomes, we're later in the game. We have runners in scoring position again, less than 2 outs. And I know, Peter, I probably sound like a broken record here, but, you know, at some point you have to drive some of these runs in and start to make a little bit of a dent in this lead.
Well, the story is what the story is, and that's the story.
Absolutely.
They have stranded plenty of runners in their first 3 at-bats and have 2 more on with 1 out, and the batter is veteran Chris Thibodeau, the center fielder. Leighton Cavalier, by the way, up to 7 hits now in the tournament with 2 more today. This is a base hit. They're going to send the runner, throw to third, and there's a key hit delivered by Chris Thibodeau. His first of the day has a run batted in, and Nova Scotia's back to within a run.
That's a pretty good job by Chris Thibodeau at the plate. Single into center field, and a little bit of indecision here by the Calgary center fielder as they try and figure out where to throw the ball. And I mean, in that case there, I think, you just come up and make a strong throw to third base there, try and keep that runner at second to keep him out of, getting to the plate in 90 feet instead of 180. But that indecision cost an extra 90 feet, and now we have runners on the corners with 1 out here and a trip to the mound by the Calgary coaching staff.
Chris Thibodeau has just his second hit here in Regina. It's an important one and drives in his first run of the competition. And there's a couple of pitchers. Moffat again, the left-hander, number 29, who we've seen up before.
Kevin Floyd, the other pitcher that's up there, number 42. Double barrel action there, as I find the irony in the music playing right now, Cold as Ice, as I think we were cold as ice yesterday.
You should spend some time here, my friend, in the middle of January.
I've had a few years of practice living in Fredericton.
Yes, I know. And it's a different kind of cold there, too. Goes right through you. McKinley, the designated hitter. Thibodeau is going to steal second base.
Well, you're not going to get a better chance than this right now for the Dartmouth Dry. Second and third. And arguably the team's best hitter at the dish right now, looking to try and tie or give his team the lead here in this one right now.
Anthony McKinley has singled in the game and grounded out sharply to third.
You see that the Calgary defense now has crept in a little bit. Kind of playing in a bit, but, little bit further back than halfway, I guess, to be able to cut down the run at the plate.
McKinley has driven in 2 in the competition, and a good block by Valdez.
Right here.
So after getting out of a couple of jams here, Laddish facing a little bit of pressure here now from the Dartmouth bats.
Okay, time. 4.
They're going to intentionally put him on with a base open.
And again, with only 1 out, I don't mind that call. Puts the double play back in play here, allows your middle infielders to get back to normal depth. Although you still have a tough bat here in Jalen Trider that you're going to have to deal with. So certainly not out of the woods yet.
Trider 0 for 2 in the game, struck out and then flew out to right field.
Ooh.
Might have got some help.
Yeah. Going to say that ball took a skip over the leg of catcher Ramon Valdez, but it did not miss the leg of our home plate umpire. And that very lucky bounce there as that comes back and hits Ramon Valdez and just sits at the umpire's feet and saves a run there for sure.
Well, here's what's on the line in this game. A Calgary win means they'll play in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's big right now. And I mean, you can tell the way these two teams are. This is like a playoff game in the round robin.
Trider out in front. For Nova Scotia, they must win, and then they'll require potentially a little help.
for Trider here, a 1-2 count. He's got one job here. Just put the ball in play, make the defense make a play here.
And here comes the 1-2 with the bases loaded and one out. And it's strike three. Swinging.
That is a very, very big strikeout there for Steven Laddish. Another slider, drop bottom, just drops out of that inside portion of the plate, and a swing and a miss there for Trider as he's down on strikes for the second out.
They opted to put McKinley on with an open base. And now it's Jack Fader. And another strike, a breaking ball in the outer half.
Something that we've seen a little bit this tournament where pitcher and catcher try and get onto the same page, and right now you can see the pitch that's working for Laddish is that slider. And as a catcher, you need to kind of hone in on that and figure out, as we see a fastball gets roped to right field.
Fader. And Nova Scotia has its first lead of the contest. Jack Fader's two-run single. And it's 4-3 Nova Scotia.
No, it's great piece of hitting there by Fader, as it looks like we are going to get a pitching change now, which Laddish is going to make his way out of this game. But it's so important as a pitcher to know and understand what's getting you to where it's getting you in the game. You just throw a couple of great sliders to the previous batter. They swing through and miss. You throw the first pitch there that he takes a slider, come back with a fastball. That fastball gets hit to right field. Comes in and scores 2 runs. So good on Jack Fader. Great swing there. Take a pitch that you can handle and do some work there. But good job by Steven Laddish today. A little bit of bad luck there at the end as he gets some handshakes from his teammates as he makes his way to the bench. We'll get a few clips of some of his work today so far. But great job by the veteran righty on the mound. As he certainly showed his good stuff out there today. Just a little bit of bad luck in the end.
Jack Fader drives in his 4th and 5th runs of the tournament. And these significant comebacks in games continuing again in this one. And coming in is the left-hander, number 29, Jordan Moffat, the 26-year-old, originally from Richmond, British Columbia. He's thrown a third of an inning. It came yesterday in the loss to the Regina Trappers. Gave up 2 runs on 1 hit and walked the batter.
Hey, Jordan, 3 more.
2-1 in league play and 12 2/3.
2.
17 strikeouts for Jordan and 11 walks. He spent a couple of years with Edmonton in the Western Canadian Baseball League as well. And finds himself in a difficult spot. 2 out, 3 runs already in the bottom of the 4th is Nova Scotia, comprised mainly of players from the Dartmouth Dry, have rebounded from 3-0 down early to take a 4-3 lead. And by the way, how big is that little play at home plate right now?
Absolutely. There's going to be a few things that are going to be looked back on in this game for sure once it's all said and done. And I mean, the great thing is here we're only in the bottom of the 4th. We still got 3 innings left to go.
The play I'm referring to, and you might see it in a lot of places on social media over the next little while. Alex Bishop hit a ball over the head of center fielder Chris Thibodeau. Farrow, no chance for Carmichael. Chris Farrow, defensively and offensively, having himself a fabulous start to this Saturday. And it's 5-3.
Yeah, just right in the right spot, right between that 5-6 hole. Carmichael able to get a glove on it, but unfortunately can't get enough on the throw to get the runner at first, and Dartmouth extends their lead now 5-3.
And to finish the thought and the play is stepping in and taking a Jordan Moffat strike is Jake McKinnon. It was 3-0 at that point in the second for Alberta. Long fly ball over the head of the center fielder. A great relay. There were runners, 2 of them on base at the time. And Chris Farrell comes to home. And in a second, Corson O'Rourke tags them both out at home plate to end the inning.
Just incredible. And like we said, there's a few plays. We have that one. We have the diving play by Farrell at shortstop. There's been a few plays that we've seen this game that are definitely going to get revisited for sure. As we see Jake McKinnon ground out here to second base to end a very productive bottom of the 4th inning for Dartmouth.
Nova Scotia bats around and score 4, and now they lead by 2. On this Saturday, the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championships in Regina.
Come on, Steven. You guys. So hard to keep this plate area, like, it's just like, when I've been trying to, no, it's not you, I'm just mean in general, it's just, I'm trying to fill in holes, but it just keeps popping up. It's like, these are spots right there.
For the first time in the game, 1-1 Team Alberta, the Calgary Rockies primarily, trail. Led 3-0 after 1, have had a number of opportunities to add to the advantage, and now trail by 2. As Alex Bishop, who has a couple of doubles in the game, one will be more memorable than the other as a result of what happened after he hit the ball over the head of Chris Thibodeau that turned into just a borderline miraculous inning-ending double play. Does he have his 3rd double? Feeder can't make the catch. And that's exactly the case for red-hot Alex Bishop, who's 3 for 3 with 3 doubles.
Yeah, he's showing why he's one of the premier hitters in the Sunburst League out in Alberta, as he's just tearing the cover off the ball today. Another double to right field. Fader almost able to make the catch there, but unfortunately comes up empty, and Calgary has their leadoff runner aboard now with nobody out. And the DH Mitch McGeehan coming to the plate.
6th hit of the tournament for Bishop, and his 5th double is a curveball over from pitcher Sean Hubley, who takes a big, deep breath.
After the productive last inning for Dartmouth, that closes the book on Steve Laddish. 3 2/3 innings, 5 runs, all earned, 6 hits, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts.
McGeehan was all over the curveball, but sent it straight back to the screen. McGeehan is homered in this tournament. Hit a 3-run shot to give his team a lead against the Regina Trappers yesterday, only to have the Trappers explode late and win it 10-4. The Trappers trailed. The Rockies led 4-2 at one point after that 3-run homer by McGeehan. The 31-year-old who hit .261 this year in league play.
That's the other guy's name.
Mitch has a base hit, reached on an error, and scored in this game. Had a really good college career at Eastern Michigan. Drove drove in 111 runs in his time there.
That's some damage.
With 32 dingers.
You have had a little bit of action down in the Dartmouth pen. We did notice right away when the team came in, during that last half inning when they were hitting, Anthony McKinley had made his way down to the bullpen and threw about maybe 12 or 15 pitches just to get loose. So that could be an option for them moving forward. There's also another lefty down there right now, which number 20, which is Jacob Burgess, who's been down there throwing a couple times already this game. So we'll see what ends up happening here. Right now, it's Sean Hubley that's on the mound. He has his sign and comes set.
McGeehan in the air towards Thibodeau. Calls the ball. For out number 1.
Good pitch there by Hubley as he's able to get the hard-hitting McGeehan to fly out to center field. So he's 1/3 of the way here as he has one out now.
And McGeehan, a good at-bat. He had some good cuts. Just got under that one. Alex Bishop, after his third double, is at second for catcher Ramon Valdez, who is singled, driven in a run, and grounded in to a 4-6-3 double play as Corson O'Rourke keeps the ball in front of him. I even just love the fact that the home plate umpire knows the catcher's first names.
Yeah, you know what? It's something that, for 25 years, and we've talked about this a bit throughout the weekend with all the officiating that I do in basketball, I find that to be a very courteous thing to do when you take the time to learn players' names, to learn coaches' names, and I just find that the communication piece becomes a lot better there with the people that you're working with for sure.
It matters.
Absolutely.
It absolutely matters.
Absolutely.
Because what it says is you're doing extra to have awareness and understand.
100%.
And you make the connection.
Yep. And that's so important in sports.
Valdez hit it well. Thibodeau on the run will track it. The tag. And sliding in safely is Bishop at third.
And just when we thought we were clear of the wind, it's back. Good piece there by Ramon Valdez. And again, play that kind of started out in straight center field. And you see the long run that Chris Thibodeau has to make there and ends up almost by the affinity sign out there in left center field, makes the catch. Good strong throw into third base, but Alex Bishop able to get in there safely before the throw gets there.
And Hubley delivers a strike to Tyler McWillie, who was flat out robbed on a diving catch, courtesy of shortstop Chris Farrow his last time up.
That was quite there. That one was quite there. It was there quite there.
As McWillie hears from our home plate umpire that was there by quite a bit. As Hubley bend one in for strike 2. And a good block by O'Rourke. Always more significant when it would save a run.
One deck batter, please. Inside the dugout. Thank you.
So Tyler McWillie, the 25-year-old who calls Red Deer home and plays for the Red Deer Riggers, the new champions of the Sunburst League, keeps his hands back on that slow breaker. And you notice I haven't gotten into the Saskatchewan direction game today.
Yeah.
When balls head out of the park in one direction or the other.
That was just hit a long way in the wrong direction. We'll leave it at that. Oh, and the ball back to the backstop here, and the throw to the plate, not in time.
Bishop scores from third on a wild pitch, and the difference is 1.
And that's tough. We're going to get a look at that here, but ball in the dirt, and Corson O'Rourke unable to get his glove on that, and Hubley tries to run in, but Bishop able to slide in safely there. And you do all that work to get your 2 outs, you get your runner to third, and then that's a tough way to be able to get that run across the plate.
In the air, Trider. To end the inning, but another double, his third of the game for Alex Bishop. Ends up tagging on an out to center and scoring on a wild pitch. It's been good one after good one. We've got another good one on this Saturday of the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championship at Curry Field in Regina. Catcher Corson O'Rourke on the first pitch he sees from Moffat. And a good fielding play by the left-hander to record out number one.
Yeah, we always talk about PFPs and pitchers fielding their position, and good play there by Moffat. He's able to snag that one, flip over to first base, and there's one retired here for the Dartmouth Dry.
With their impressive 6-4 extra inning victory last night against Manitoba, the Regina Trappers guaranteed themselves into a semifinal berth and a win of Pool B, regardless of their final round robin game coming up at noon. The other team from Saskatchewan looks like they're closing in, Dan, on earning a semifinal berth as well.
Yeah, keep an eye on that one over at Optimus Park right now. They have increased their lead now over Team British Columbia. That ball just lands foul down the right field line to 10-2. And we have now found out from looking at the standings and kind of sifting through them that a Team Saskatchewan win there would give them the bye into the semifinals as well, which would be incredible to see both teams from Saskatchewan making their way into Sunday here in the medal rounds.
Well, it shouldn't hurt attendance.
No.
It would make the local organizing committee very happy, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
As Saskatchewan with a win over the Victoria Mavericks, representing BC, would go to 3-1. And the only team in that pool that could get to 3 wins would be New Brunswick, represented by the Charlottetown Islanders. And because of that huge comeback win over New Brunswick by Saskatchewan yesterday, that would guarantee them top spot in a head-to-head tiebreaker.
Absolutely. It's just small things like that at a tournament that you don't really look at immediately, but then you look at the grand scheme of things, and it can definitely, now there's a possibility there they have to play an extra game now, right? So.
And in that game, Saskatchewan trailed 5-0, only to come back and win it 9-5.
Absolutely.
Scored 4 in the bottom of the 6th en route to that win.
That's why you play the whole game. So important at these types of events.
It's been quite prominent the last 2 or 3 games in this ballpark that no lead is safe as Noah Boutillier walks. Even in this game, it was 3-0 after one for Alberta. It's now 5-4. Leighton Cavalier, one of the tournament batting leaders with 7 hits, 2 for 3 today, singled twice, and scored one of the 4 fourth-inning runs. The leadoff batter for Nova Scotia and left fielder.
So it looks like we do have some action down in the Calgary Rockies bullpen as right-hander Bo Lewington has gotten up to start to throw. So we'll see if he factors into this game at some point. Anthony McKinley was back down in the Dartmouth pen throwing a little bit this half inning as well. So getting himself ready just in case.
Tello, trouble. And Cavalier's on base again, this time on the air to Alex Tello, who was trying to make the play before he had full control of the ball.
Yeah, that's just a little bit of a mistake there. That's all. Kind of took his eyes off the ball at the last second, figuring he was going to make the throw to first, and unfortunately goes off the tip of his glove, squirts loose, and both runners are safe now. So first and second with one out, and Chris Thibodeau at the plate.
As Moffat steps off, sending Noah Boutillier back.
Key point in this game right now, bottom of the 5th. Another runner in scoring position here as Dartmouth looks to answer back after giving up one in the last half inning.
Chris Thibodeau high in the air to center. The tag, strong throw in, and it will keep Boutillier right where he is.
That's a big out there for the lefty Moffat. So he gets the ever dangerous Chris Thibodeau to fly out to center field. And with Anthony McKinley coming to the plate, we're going to get a trip to the mound here.
Are we going to get a right-hander?
Looks like Lewington's all ready, and that's going to be the end of the day for Moffat. He exits to a good round of applause here from the large Alberta contingent, and I would say a lot of those probably here in Saskatchewan with all the Saskatchewan natives playing on that Calgary team.
So Lewington comes in. Stephen Laddish was the starter today. And Lewington trying to keep his group to within one. A Calgary victory would guarantee them one of 3 playoff spots in Pool A. Lewington, 32 years of age, has pitched 1 inning here. It came yesterday in the 8-2 triumph over the Leaside Leafs. Ontario won. Did not give up a run, a hit, struck out 1, and did not walk a batter. Pitched 11 innings in the Sunburst League for the Rockies this year. Went 1-1 with 14 strikeouts. I believe that Lewington has some Ontario ties. Potentially, he played for the London Majors of the Inter-County Baseball League in 2022, but you could be from Alberta and do that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because on the official rosters, there's a lot of hometowns listed that aren't really, it's where they live.
That's right.
Not
That's right.
where they're actually from.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. There's definitely some disparity there with a lot of locations.
Which is not being critical. I'm just explaining
absolutely.
what it is.
Absolutely.
Well, Anthony McKinley, the designated hitter and arguably as good a pitcher as they have, Team Nova Scotia would love to add to the advantage for a team that has to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. They're 1-2. This is their final round-robin game. There's still one to come, and a big one, which would become even bigger if Team Alberta can't come back and win this game.
Yeah, a little bit of a tough spot here for Bo Lewington. 2 runners on, first and second. There are 2 outs. And the dangerous Anthony McKinley at the plate for the Dartmouth Dry.
Again, gets away from Valdez. And it hasn't been the easiest day at the office for number 28 behind home plate.
No, it's been a lot of work that he's had to do back there. A couple of pitches getting away from him, but overall done a pretty good job of blocking everything up. But yeah, that one just up off the, just above the glove, hits him on the wrist and kind of squirts away, and both runners able to advance there.
So even more pressure for Lewington. Nice, smooth flowing delivery. And more importantly than that, a strike. Love games where every pitch feels like it matters.
Mm-hmm.
Tailing action on the fastball in, but missed.
This is a big moment here. Base hit's probably going to score 2. We could have a 3-run lead, or we have a 1-run lead going to the bottom of the inning.
McKinley flies out. So Lewington, as they look for the righty-righty matchup, and it pays dividends. It remains 5-4 Nova Scotia over Alberta. We've played 5 on the final day of the round robin of the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championship. Travis Gaudette is the batter. Sean Hubley has had an interesting pitching outing, hasn't he? Still in the game.
Well,
A bit of a roller coaster of emotions for Hubley so far in this one. Came out and gave up 3. Settled down after that for a little while. And able to settle in. Gives up 1 last inning. Just on a pitch that gets away from the catcher O'Rourke. So, yeah, for sure. He's and again, we saw this yesterday with Wuschke that threw for Regina, where a little bit of struggles out of the gate, and then was able to bear down and kind of just do enough to be able to get the win for his team. So Hubley looking to kind of repeat that and hopefully get the same result here today.
Travis Gaudette, 36 years of age. 0 for 2 in the tournament. Those at-bats came in the win over Leaside yesterday, and he's drawn a walk. Came in to the game and remained for Mike Goldade in center field.
So it looks like McKinley continued to throw down in the Dartmouth pen there. He's kind of actually backed up to the mound now. Before he was just kind of doing some light tossing at about 50 or 60 feet. Now he's back on the mound, seems to be kind of starting to ramp up a little bit in case he does have to come into this game. McKinley has already thrown a game this tournament, so this would be his second time out.
All hands on deck when you have to win or your tournament is over.
Absolutely.
Hubley, Farrow, double play.
Just what the doctor ordered. Great play there by Hubley as he's, again, PFP's so important, fields his position. A little bit of a slip there as he made that throw to second, but gets it to the shortstop. Farrow on to first base in time for the 1-6-3 double play.
So Luke Carmichael hits into one. That was quite interesting. Base hit by Mitch Murphy. Jalen Trider, the first baseman, headed immediately to the bag on a ball that he might have been closer to. I'm not saying that he was going to make this play.
Yeah, it's tough. We can't really see from that angle there, but yeah, it just kind of looked like he turned and went to the bag there instead of taking a few steps to see if he could have come up with the ball there. But
and there goes a steal attempt.
Ooh, good play there by Farrow to dive and knock that one down. That gets out to center field. He's probably at third base.
Mitch Murphy
Yeah, no worries.
with a single and then a quick steal of second and the tying run in scoring position here in the sixth. And it can happen just so quickly. Tello's had a great tournament. Thibodeau's throw offline, and we're tied again, this time at 5 apiece.
Alex Tello continues his red-hot day. Fourth time on base for him. Second hit of the day as he ropes this one to center field. Ball gets down in front of Thibodeau. Good strong throw from the veteran Thibodeau to the plate, but as you can see, just offline to the right. And the runner, Mitch Murphy, comes across, and we have a new ball game here. 5-5, Peter.
Alex Tillo, who had one multi-hit game on his way towards second. J.P. Wilner, towering fly ball in the wind. And Thibodeau is able to make the catch just shy of the warning track.
Too close for comfort there.
Back to Tello for a second. Had one multi-hit game all year. He has 3 at the Canadian Championship in 3 games. And his latest hit has tied the game at 5. You're watching great baseball from Regina on IKS. .55, Alex Tello's 6th hit of these Canadian championships. A single tied the game in the top half of the inning.
All right, ball, here we go. Play.
Peter, we have our second bye into the semis now complete, as we do have a final score from Optimist Park. Jalen Schreider flies out to right field. Team Saskatchewan has roared back, and they complete the round robin going 3-1 as they defeat Team British Columbia this morning by a score of 12-2 in 6 innings. So based on their record and the rest of the games that are to be played in that pool, they will advance to Sunday morning, and 2 Saskatchewan teams will be playing for medals at this year's event.
Yeah, the only team, and we did mention this briefly, is Jack Fader comes to bat and takes a strike from Bo Lewington, who got a big final out to end inning at number 5. New Brunswick's the other team that could end up in that pool with 3 wins, but by virtue of Saskatchewan's win over 2-1 New Brunswick yesterday, that's why they have now booked their ticket directly into a semifinal to join the other team from Saskatchewan who booked their ticket into a semifinal, the host Regina Trappers, with that fabulous 6-4 win. And I say fabulous, not that they won. It was such a great game. For me, my favorite by a considerable margin of this event. And we've had some great ones, and we've got another dandy going on in front of us. But that one last night just had a bit of a different feel. Well played, well pitched, high drama, comeback from 4 down. An 8th inning 2-run homer. It really, I thought, Dan had everything.
Absolutely. And while we do know our 2 semifinalists that are going to get through, what's still up in the air for sure is not only the teams that are going to be playing in those quarterfinals, but the seedings that are going to be, who's going to play who in those crossover games, which is always exciting to watch as well.
And Lewington with a great breaking ball to get Jack Fader swinging for out number 2.
We'll get a look at this pitch here now, but nice slider there from Lewington. And just swung on top of and missed there by Jack Fader as he's down on strikes for the second out here in the home half of the 6th inning.
And just to add to the playoff story, of which this game will play a big role in, this is Pool A. Or this would be Pool B, pardon me. And with a win, Team Alberta, the Calgary Rockies, they would guarantee themselves a playoff berth. A little bit of a diving effort from Luke Carmichael. So a 1-2-3 inning for Bo Lewington in a 5-5 tie with so much on the line. Final day of the round robin here in Regina.
Go defensive runs. Oh, okay. All right.
Jacob Burgess into the game as we continue to pontificate on potential playoff scenarios.
All this good baseball just gets you fired up. You want to get to the playoffs right now.
Oh, do I ever. But we have a game that's going to play a significant role, and we're in the 7th in a 5-5 tie. Seesaw affair. Alberta jumped out early, 3-0. Nova Scotia came back with 5 unanswered. And then the Calgary Rockies, with some helpers, representing Alberta, chipped away with runs in the 6th and 5th.
We got a dangerous part of the order coming up here for New Dartmouth pitcher Jacob Burgess, who takes over from Sean Hubley, as he's going to face the meat of the order here, 3, 4, 5. And this first man that's up here, Peter, has done a little bit of damage today.
That's absolutely correct. He's 3 for 3 with 3 doubles. Farrow.
Wow.
Got him.
Nice play. Much to the chagrin of the Calgary bench, who doesn't sound happy about that call. We'll get a look here. Kind of off the hands of the bat. Farrow able to pick up that ball. Strong throw to first, and I think they're looking at the foot of Jalen Trider there, but he hangs on to the bag there. His tippy toe just clipping the top of the bag, and Alex Bishop retired for the first time today. He's the first out here in the 7th.
Mitch McGeehan, it's Farrow again handling a tough hop. And just like that, there's 2 away, both shortstop to first.
And Chris Farrow showing right now why he's gotten a defensive player of the tournament at one of these events before already, as he's been all over the field making great plays today, as he's got about 5 or 6 putouts. But, you know, as much as you need runs, and right now this is a big part of the order that they're going through here. Chris Farrow certainly showing up and helping out his pitcher here.
So they bring in the lefty, Burgess, knowing that he'd face 2 lefties, including catcher, 31-year-old Ramon Valdez. Drills it to the wall in right field. Fader can throw, and he'll hold Valdez at first with a long single.
I'll tell you what, that was not far away from getting out of that short porch down there in right field.
309 over there.
I think Ramon might have thought off the bat he might have had enough of it to get out, but goes off the base of the wall. He makes the turnaround first, and like you said, good strong throw there from right fielder Jack Fader. Keeps him to a single with 2 outs here.
And we're going to have a pinch runner for the catcher, Valdez, who gets some fist bumps on the way back into the dugout. He has 2 hits in the game.
So Lane Amon, who did some catching yesterday for the Rockies, he's going to take over at first base and do the running here for Ramon Valdez.
And will stay in and catch.
I would assume that would be the case here, yeah. And Lane's got pretty good speed on the bases, too, so pretty good trade up there, too.
McWillie, the batter, robbed earlier in the game on a marvelous play by Chris Farrow, who's had himself quite the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 on, 2 out in the 7th, and a 5-5 tie. There goes Amon. O'Rourke's throw, not quite in time. There's a few catchers in this tournament who can scoot.
Absolutely. We see the jump there from Lane Amon. He has to peek in to see where the pitch ends up. Good head first slide there, and keeps contact with the bag the whole time. And Calgary with 2 outs, but now have a runner in scoring position.
Tyler McWillie has 1 run batted in this competition.
Pretty good looking sweeper there from Burgess, but that one called the ball.
The young left-hander called in a absolutely crucial situation for Nova Scotia. They must win to keep their hopes alive. Fader back, and he won't get to it. Off the wall. McWillie on his way to second. Tyler McWillie, a double to the right field wall, has given Team Alberta the lead. It's 6-5.
That ball off the bat, we've had a couple of balls hit to right field today that haven't really gone anywhere. This one seemed to find a jet of wind and makes it over the head of Jack Fader off the base of the wall. He makes a strong throw into second base, but not in time as you see Tyler McWillie slide in safely. And that is a big, big RBI that pushes Team Alberta ahead in this game 6-5.
Tyler McWillie's second double of the competition, first hit of the day, and a second run batted in, and it's a large one. The 25-year-old who calls Red Deer home delivers for the Calgary Rockies. Travis Gaudet again towards Fader. Looked like the wind worked in the right manner for Nova Scotia that time, but not before. McWillie to the wall, and it's 6-5 Alberta. They'll have a chance to close it in the bottom of the seventh. You're watching the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championships from Regina. Tyler McWillie's RBI double in the top of this inning has Team Alberta, the Calgary Rockies, 3 outs away from guaranteeing themselves a playoff spot. They'd move to 2-1 and eliminate Nova Scotia from any potential playoff possibilities. And they'll call on 26-year-old Kevin Floyd to try to do just that. This is Kevin's first appearance here in Regina. 12 2/3 innings he's pitched during the course of this season in the Sunburst League, and shows that he has a good fastball in the first pitch to second baseman Jake McKinnon. Two pitches, 2 fastballs, 2 strikes. Dan Esty.
Yeah, Floyd looking good here out of the pen so far. Obviously, you can see really good fastball, and we're going to check down. Umpire says no swing. I would agree with that. It looked like he held up there.
Yeah, I'm on the same page too. Emotions are high.
Yep, good call.
One team must score to keep their tournament hopes alive, and that would be the team batting. Trailed 3-0. Came back to lead 5-3. But Team Alberta, with runs in the last 3 consecutive innings, have gone back in front.
You can kind of see with Floyd, he's just, there's not much thought process here.
No.
It's here it is, and hit it.
I'm just going to bring it. You know what's coming. I know what I'm throwing. You deal with it.
Absolutely.
The 1-2.
Pretty handy there. That one looked like it might have been just a little bit inside.
Jake McKinnon on the day. 1 for 3. And the count runs full. Pretty good drama, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, and I mean this is a big pitch right here. Dartmouth needs to get a runner on.
Tello. 1 down.
Good job there by the pitcher Floyd to kind of calm down, get the ground ball there to Alex Tello. As we get a look here, clean pickup, throws on to first and able to retire Jake McKinnon for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Catcher Corson O'Rourke, involved in one of the most fabulous defensive plays you'll ever see in this sport. Early in the game when he tagged out 2 runners at home plate.
Unbelievable.
In a second. Bing, you're out. Bing, you're out. But he's not thinking about that right now. Jersey hanging out all dirty.
Ooh.
And it almost took a bite out of him.
I do see in the on-deck circle that there is going to be a pinch hitter next for Dartmouth with Noah Boutillier going to be sitting down, and looks like number 28, Brett McMullen, has made his way into the on-deck circle.
And you know the juices are flowing for Floyd, as in Kevin.
3-1 count here for O'Rourke now, so he's worked himself into a hitter's count. And, you know, you talk about those juices getting going, but at the same time, you know, you kind of want to keep it a little bit even keel to make sure that you don't overthrow. But good take there from O'Rourke, and the count now full. Head coach Chris Head encouraging him from the third base coach's box.
The payoff pitch on its way. Fouled back. Corson O'Rourke, the 23-year-old Sydney Sooner, one of the additions to this Dartmouth Dry team representing Nova Scotia. He's 0 for 2 in the game, but he's on base for the second time with another walk.
I would assume we're going to see a pinch runner here as someone comes hopping out of the dugout. Number 7 making his way in.
That's Mike Nagel, 25-year-old from Dartmouth, who came in a similar situation earlier in the tournament.
So Nagel's going to take his place at first. Pinch running for Corson O'Rourke, who just drew the walk. We have another pinch hitter at the plate with Corson's Sydney teammate Brett McMullen getting his first swings of the day.
He has one official at-bat. Came in a loss to the Regina Trappers. He's 0 for 1 in the tournament.
Good fastball there from Floyd. Finds the outside corner for strike 1.
Tying run. It's a must run to keep Nova Scotia's hopes alive as McMullen lifts this foul and out of play.
Just a reminder to fans that following this one, we will have some interviews down in the field, so make sure you hang around on the stream.
The 1-2. Evens the count. I don't think we've seen a pitch other than fastballs, have we?
I don't think so, unless he's got 2 different speeds of them. Ooh.
That had a little giddy up on it.
Two and two count here on the batter McMullen. Mike Noggle, the runner at first for Dartmouth, takes his lead.
Missing in is Kevin Floyd, and it's a full count. Tying runner aboard at first. And Mike Noggle. Kevin Floyd checks him and delivers. Down the left field line, just foul.
Ooh, that was some close. I'm sure we're going to get a look at that from the boys here on the truck, but that ball ripped down the left field line. Not going to get an excellent view from there, but to me, looking in the seat that I'm sitting in here in the booth, Peter, and you have a pretty good look at it too, it looked like it was about a foot foul.
That's exactly what I saw too, Dan. That close
Wow.
to a walk-off home run in the bottom of the seventh for McMullen.
The boys sling, yeah, that's about a foot foul. Wow, that close to a win.
And they must win to keep their tournament hopes alive.
Sure, there was a few Team Alberta fans that had their hearts kind of sitting in their stomach there for a minute.
Another 3-2 on the way to Brett McMullen. And he's drawn a walk. And quite the bat toss after he did.
And that is a great job by the bottom of the order there for the Dartmouth Dries. They've rolled it over now to get back to the top of the order with left fielder Leighton Cavilier going to make his way to the plate. And we're going to get a trip to the mound here by the Calgary coaching staff.
Probably just wants to settle everybody down.
Mm-hmm. Man, that was some close. Wow.
Brett McMullen almost ended it. As it's, again, a strong wind blowing in that direction. We're going to give you another peek at how close this game was to being over.
Wow. Inches. Inches. You get the slowed down look here, but wow.
Just on the wrong side for Nova Scotia of the foul pole, which has always been interesting to me because if it hits it, it's a home run and it's actually fair, not foul. One of the best hitters in the tournament at home plate in Leighton Cavilier, who's 2 for 4, reached his last time on an error. The Nova Scotia left fielder.
Floyd having a few struggles right now as he goes for a little bit of a walk on the mound there just to try and calm himself down.
Leighton is 7 for 11 in the tournament. There's a strike.
Good fastball there, right at the knees, good pitch.
Leighton with just 2 hits at last year's national tournament, but hit .403 this year in league play. And looks at ball 3. The only thing he hasn't done in the tournament, hitting-wise, is drive in a run. This would be quite the time to do it.
Couldn't think of a better time right now for sure.
He has 12 runs batted in league play.
I think there's a few teammates on the bench that might enjoy that as well.
Not going to get a chance. He's been walked. Bases loaded. Well, if only we had a few good games this week. And more activity in the bullpen.
Edmonton Cub Jarvis Grenier down there warming up for Team Alberta.
30-year-old center fielder Chris Thibodeau. The bases loaded. His team's season on the line. Certainly tournament on the line.
See, he's had a pretty eventful day.
Ooh, is he ever? On both sides of the ledger. He has a hit and a run batted in the game. And Floyd is struggling to find the zone.
Yes.
But he found it there.
That's a lot of pressure, and that's a big pitch right there from Kevin Floyd.
Infield playing at double play depth with one out. And now there's 2 strikes.
The ever dangerous Anthony McKinley waits on deck.
Fantastic theater here in Regina.
Pitch is pretty close, but it is missing inside.
And another full count. Floyd versus Thibodeau. Foul.
Ouch.
Hit the truck again. Maybe a little karma for all that directional advice.
Well, there it is right there. They got it.
Yep, they did.
Free baseball outside there, Clark.
High in the air. It's an infield fly. And Alex Tello, who gave Team Alberta the lead with an RBI base hit in the top of the inning, makes the catch.
That is a big out. Big time hitter for Dartmouth, and they're able to get him to pop up to the infield, and not out of the woods yet, though, as now they have to deal with one of Dartmouth's big boppers here, Anthony McKinley.
In many ways, wouldn't this be the guy that you'd want at home plate in this situation?
Absolutely, and last at bat for him, they ended up intentionally walking him, but that's not an option this time.
He had a grand slam home run last year against Alberta in this tournament.
As we mentioned before, there is some activity down in the Calgary bullpen with right-hander Jarvis Grenier up and throwing.
Bases loaded, 2 out in a 1-run game. Did not go around. Nova Scotia must win to keep their tournament hopes alive. An Alberta win vaults them into the playoffs. Strike 2. Anthony McKinley.
Keeps himself alive.
Talk about a high leverage inning for the pitcher.
Wow. You can feel it here throughout the ballpark right now.
Kevin Floyd on in relief. Bases loaded, 2-2 count.
Oh.
And again, it's full.
Tell you what, those fastballs up, they're definitely up. But they are some close to the strike zone. What an eye by Anthony McKinley. Floyd keeps tempting him with those, but now we're going to have a 3-2 count here. 2 outs. Runners are all going to be on the move.
The payoff. Steps off. everybody's hearts racing. And we'll have another one.
Oh, square at my eyes.
There's a little pressure on the guy calling balls and strikes too. Let's not kid ourselves.
Big point in this game right now.
Anthony McKinley continues to foul off 3-2 pitches with his team's tournament on the line.
You get a look inside a very anxious Dartmouth dugout here as we get another 3-2 pitch.
Ball 4, tie game.
What an at-bat there by Anthony McKinley. Veteran guy up there that knows what he has to do, sees some pitches, fouls some of them off. Great eye on some of those very tempting fastballs. Works a walk and ties this game up 6-6.
Generally, RBI walks aren't quite that large. That one most certainly is, and that's going to do it for Kevin Floyd, who is so close to saving it. But a bases-loaded walk ties the game as McKinley stayed alive on 2 or 3 full-count situations before ball 4. And there it is, and clearly a ball.
Just incredible action here at Curry Field this morning.
I have never in my lifetime seen 2 or 3 bat flips or bat throws after walks like we've just witnessed, but you completely understand why.
Just the adrenaline there now with everyone, and like I said, there's park's starting to fill up a little bit here right now with the Regina Trappers playing next. Pretty good crowd here for this game to begin with, but you can just kind of feel that buzz starting to go through the crowd here now a little bit.
Well, the new pitcher again is 35-year-old Jarvis Grenier, a member of the Edmonton Cubs. Had a very good season for
Jarvis,
them.
3 more, okay?
7-1, 58 2/3 innings, 44 strikeouts.
2 more, guys.
Helped the Cubs win a couple of provincial titles in 2019 and 2021. And he has thrown an inning here in Regina.
All right, here we go.
Part of a Cubs team this year that unfortunately lost to the Red Deer Riggers in the Sunburst final.
Faced the minimum in his 1 inning of work yesterday against the Leaside Leafs in their 8-2 win. 6-6.
Okay, Jarvis, here we go. Play.
Not coming into an easy situation here at all, but veteran guy that's been here and done it before, and certainly would be one of the guys that can help out here and try and get out of this situation right now. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Jalen Trider at the plate.
Trider 0 for 4 in the game.
Foul in the box, foul! Switch it up.
Wants a different ball. Does our home plate umpire? Gonna give it a little rub and put it back in the pocket. Jalen Trider trying to end it and keep Nova Scotia's hopes alive.
Oh.
That was some close to catching him in the shoulder.
That would have been quite the ending to this game I won't forget for quite some time, for lots of reasons.
Oh,
he did hit him.
It got him. He came so close on that last one, and that one does catch him in the shoulder, absolutely. We'll get a look at it here on the replay, but
A walk to tie the game and a walk-off hit by pitch
Brushes them in the arm.
to win it. And Nova Scotia ends the round robin at 2-2, and now they'll spend the day scoreboard watching, hoping for the right results. They're 2-2. And a win by Manitoba later today over this Team Alberta would propel Nova Scotia into the final playoff spot. We'll double check on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it will be. 7-6. Nova Scotia wins it. Quite the game. We'll have interviews in a moment or so. From Regina, the Canadian Senior Men's.
All right, we're down here on field level after probably the most exciting game of this tournament so far. A high pitch that has the Dartmouth driving their second win here this week. Here with me I have shortstop Chris Farrow as well as first baseman Jalen. Chris, I'll start with you. My partner upstairs and probably have never seen anything like that play back in the second inning when we get a fly ball to center field, play it off the wall. You make a laser of a throw to right, that every day, right? That is two double play. Take me through that.
Yeah, funny enough, move play has happened to me in assailing the catcher this tournament, so I kept it down. Corson did a great job to get the tag. Didn't see the second guy rounding, so until the boys told me to come. It was a good feeling.
With that play, we got to get back into it a little bit. For you today, for a game, someone that
technical difficulties, and we apologize for that, but just an incredible game. The 2 outs registered in the game early in it at home plate. Play you won't forget. 7th inning, a hit by pitch with the bases loaded to walk it off. 7-6 the final. So Nova Scotia ends the round robin at 2-2. Alberta is 1-2. They have one game left to play. If they win that game over Manitoba, it would prompt a 3-way tie for 2 playoff spots. If Manitoba wins, it would mean Regina first in the pool, Manitoba second, and then Nova Scotia would grab the third spot. That game coming up later. Well, time to take a break. What a game. So long for now from the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championships in Regina.